Good afternoon. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ray DiDazio, immediate past chair and current national director for ACEC New York, and it's my sincere pleasure to welcome you to the first ever Engineering Excellence Awards luncheon at the beautiful Gotham Hall. While the past year and a half has been challenging for our nation and our industry, we thank all of you for taking the time to recognize the significant impact these projects have on our world. Every year, we emphasize how vital it is to look back on what our industry has accomplished, and that is especially true in times of crisis. We're especially thankful to be able to meet today in person. And throughout the 100 years as an association, health and well-being have been the core tenets of ACEC New York, and today is no difference. As you can see, we'll take any steps necessary to make sure our members can meet and network comfortably and safely. So, speaking of our 100th anniversary, many thanks to those of you who were able to attend our centennial celebration this past August. We're thrilled to be able to recognize this milestone for our organization. However, we are not the only organization to celebrate 100 years in operation. The Port Authority of New York and New Jersey is a key partner for many of our firms, and they too are celebrating their centennial in 2021. So to recognize this amazing accomplishment, I'd like to introduce one of our most valuable and trusted partners, Mr. Rick Cotton, Executive Director for the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey.
Thank you very much, Ray. I guess it's not so good for a transportation executive to not be able to find his way to the stage. But it's a great pleasure to be here. We do both share 100th centennial, 100th anniversary this year, and the people in this room and the companies they represent have been extraordinary partners of the Port Authority throughout those 100 years. I think when you think back on it, and I made a few notes, when you look at the Port Authority and the projects we've shared and are sharing, the Port Authority, 4 bridges built in the first 10 years of the Port Authority, renovating 3 airports when it came to the 1940s and 50s, built the biggest bus terminal in the world, building the first major container port on the East Coast, really leading the nation's Twin Towers at the World Trade Center, rebuilding the World Trade Center campus after the 9/11 terrorist attack, rebuilding after Superstorm Sandy, more recently 2 new bridges, and right now totally rebuilding LaGuardia Airport, JFK Airport, and Newark to the tune of $20 billion of both public and private investment. And that is the history of what we've been doing, are doing together. And I would just salute ACEC, Ray, your members, and all those friends in the audience to join with you on this occasion and share in your award ceremony. Thanks a lot.
Well, thank you, Rick. And again, congratulations to the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey on 100 years in operation. There's another organization serving the built environment, celebrating their centennial year this year, and they were recognized in February alongside ACEC New York and the Port Authority by the 100-Year Association of New York. Congratulations to the New York Building Congress, and please join me in welcoming their president and CEO and my friend Carlos Ashura to the stage.
Good afternoon, everyone. Ray, thank you for your leadership, not just at ACEC, but really in the entire industry. Congratulations, Mr. President. Congrats on your first, I guess, official in-person event. I know you're going to do great things here at ACEC. And let me just recognize your past president, Jay. Thank you for all the support you gave me when I started at the Building Congress 5 years ago. And to all of you, Rick, you don't look 100. You look wonderful. We don't look 100. It's really great to see so many friends here. A lot has been said about the past 100 years and how when you look at the skyline, you look at our subway system, you look at our railroads, you look at our airports, so much happened in the beginning part of the 100 years. And then so much did not happen for the middle part of the last 100 years. And then a lot of great things started happening towards the latter part of the last 100 years. And I think it's all of our jobs as we look forward, once the celebrations of this year are over, to really think about what's the next 100 years. What does that look like? What does a new Port Authority bus terminal look like? What does the continuation of building out the Long Island Railroad, and it's great to see Phil Eng here today. What does the skyline look like? What does connectivity between regions, because we're no longer competing amongst boroughs or New York and New Jersey, but it's regional, it's national. What do airports look like? What do transit options to airports look like, which is a critical piece that we must not give up on. And I can go on and on and on. So I think together, the building industry, whether you are an engineer or an architect or a contractor or a lawyer or a consultant or an organization, whatever you do, we must all come together and focus on ensuring that the built environment gets greener, gets healthier, but continues to get bolder and continues to do great things for the city, the state, the nation, and globally. And I think with a new mayor coming in, a governor that we will work with to ensure that whoever the governor is committed to transportation and infrastructure, and then a rebuilding of post-COVID, post-racial injustice, post everything we've been through in the last couple of years will happen. And the way it happens by all of you, because you are the engines, literally, that keep New York City going. So congratulations on your 100th. I look forward to working together. Have a great day.
Thank you, Carlo, and congratulations again to the New York Building Congress on your centennial. We have many special guests and valued partners here today, and I'd like to recognize a few of them. Marie-Therese Dominguez, Commissioner, and Nick Chuba, Chief Engineer for the New York State Department of Transportation. Hank Gutman, Commissioner for the New York City Department of Transportation. Rich Lee, Chief Engineer for the New York State Thruway Authority. Colonel Matthew Luzzatto, Commander for the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, New York District. And Eric McFarland, Deputy Commissioner for the New York City Department of Design and Construction. Many thanks to you and to all of our special guests for joining us this afternoon. I also want to recognize the dedication of the ACEC New York Board of Directors, as well as our past chairs. So will the current board and all the past chairs please stand? Please stand. Okay. I know there's more of you out there. Okay. So let's have a round of applause for the dedicated leadership of ACEC New York. We have many projects to recognize this afternoon, so without further delay, please join me in recognizing our first set of Gold Award winners.
The following projects have won Gold Awards. For excellence in the category of studies, research, and consulting engineering services. AKRF, and the client is New York City Department of Environmental Protection, Bureau of Environmental Planning and Analysis.
D. Simone Consulting Engineers, and the client is CMC Group.
H2M Architects and Engineers, and the clients are the Incorporated Village of Garden City Water Department and the Garden City Park Water District and Plainview Water District.
NV5, and the client is New York City Department of Design and Construction.
For excellence in the category of building technology systems. ERA, and the client is Renzo Piano Building Workshop.
Delta Engineers, Architects, Land Surveyors, and Landscape Architects. And the client is Binghamton University.
Dewberry, and the client is General Services Administration.
Jarrows, Baum and Bowles, and the client is the United States Army Corps of Engineers.
The Rockbrook Consulting Group, and the client is Dr. Robert Hariri.
Stantec Consulting Services, and the client is George Eastman Museum.
Siska Hennessy Group, and the client is New Hanover Regional Medical Center.
For excellence in the category of structural systems, Cameron Engineering and Associates, and the client is the Fire Department of the City of New York.
CHA Consulting, and the client is City of Port Jervis.
HNTB, New York Engineering and Architecture. And the clients are Tully Construction Company and Fossilico Civil, a joint venture.
McNamara Salvia, and the client is Extel Development.
Nussbaumer and Clark, and the client is City of North Tonawanda.
Popley Design Group, and the client is City of Auburn.
For excellence in the category of environmental, C&S Companies. And the client is Paulus Development.
For excellence in the category of waste and stormwater, CDM Smith, and the client is Somerset Raritan Valley Sewerage Authority.
Woodard and Curran, and the client is Town of Bedford, New York.
Congratulations again to our Gold Award winners. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Johnny Evers, President and CEO of ACEC New York, and I stand before you today for my first ever Engineering Excellence event. Since I took on this, well, you can applaud me. Since I took on this role in July, I've been continuously impressed by the amazing work done by our members. You are the reason our country can operate on a day-to-day basis. You make sure we have access to clean water, safe roads, bridges, and reliable power and internet access. It is for this reason that we are gathered here today to recognize your accomplishments. And I am proud to head an organization that provides accolades to the unsung heroes of our nation. In light of the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, the role of engineers is more important now than ever. As part of our mission to recognize your hard work, ACEC New York has leveraged social media, showcasing every one of these winning projects on Twitter and Instagram. We encourage you to help us share these accomplishments and to celebrate our event. Use the hashtag EEANY21 on all of your social medias for today's event. This celebration would not be possible without the generous support of our sponsors, our diamond sponsors, AECOM, Jacobs, Jarrows, Baum and Bowles, LK McLean Associates, STV Group, Hennessy Group, and WSP USA. And thanks to our platinum sponsor, NV5. Our gold sponsors, AKF Group, CHA, D. Simone Consulting Engineers, Hardesty in Hanover, Hazen and Sawyer, KS Engineers. There's got to be a prize for whoever yells loudest. Langen Engineering. There you go. M&J Engineering. This is getting good. The Brook Consulting Group. And Thornton Tomasetti. Silver sponsors, AI Engineers, Cameron Engineering and Associates, D&B Engineers and Architects, HNTB New York Engineering and Architecture, Loring Consulting Engineers, Stantec Consulting Services, and T.Y. Lin International Engineering and Architecture. I want to thank our patrons, Galato Engineering and Sam Schwartz Engineering, and our full and half-page advertisers. Please join me in thanking these generous firms for their support for this important program. Today's awards would also not be possible without the dedication of our panel of judges, who took the time to meet virtually this past October and evaluate all the projects we honor today. These judges included representatives from agencies and authorities, academia, architecture, media, and many other sectors related to the built environment. Thank you for providing your time and expertise. Now let us recognize the remainder of our Gold Award winners.
For excellence in the category of water resources, CHA Consulting, and the client is City of Troy.
D&B Engineers and Architects, and the client is Thomas O'Connor, Water Department Superintendent, Incorporated Village of Old Westbury.
H2M Architects and Engineers, and the client is Hicksville Water District.
Tectonic Engineering Consultants, Geologists, and Land Surveyors. And the client is Town of Candor.
For excellence in the category of transportation, CNS Companies, and the client is Albany International Airport.
Hardesty and Hanover. And the client is New York State Department of Transportation.
HDR, and the client is New York City Economic Development Corporation.
HDR, and the client is Long Island Railroad. Jacobs, and the client is the Israel Ports Development and Asset Company.
For excellence in the category of special projects, ERA, and the client is Brown University.
C&S Companies, and the client is City of Syracuse.
Cameron Engineering and Associates, and the client is Ingle Berman.
Conchesi Engineering, and the client is Ropes and Gray.
Delta Engineers, Architects, Land Surveyors, and Landscape Architects, and the client is E.B. Crawford Library.
H2M Architects and Engineers, and the client is the County of Saratoga.
Hardesty and Hanover Construction Services, and the client is MTA Bridges and Tunnels.
L.K. McLean Associates, and the client is Vineyard View.
NV5, and the client is New York State Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation.
P.W. Grosser Consulting, and the client is Village of Sag Harbor.
Stantec Consulting Services, and the client is City of Rochester.
For excellence in the category of energy, C.D.M. Smith, and the client is New York City Health and Hospitals.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Tony Albori, co-chair of the 2020-2021 Engineering Excellence Committee. As Ray mentioned, our celebration earlier this year was delayed due to extraordinary circumstances, but that does not diminish the importance of today's event. We're here to reflect on what we do, why we do it, and how we benefit the world around us. This program wouldn't be possible without the dedication of the Engineering Excellence Committee. Thank you all for your hard work, especially during such a difficult year. I have been proud to stand on this stage for several years. And as Linda and I step down as chairs of the EEA committee, I'm exceptionally proud for my last act on this stage to recognize the Gateway program with the Award of Merit. New York City is often limited by access from outside the area, a limitation that is significantly felt by commuters and visitors coming by train from the west. 2 tunnels and limited tracks into Penn Station are occasionally further constricted by necessary routine maintenance or repairs. The current tunnels are more than a century old, and even with new stations and tracks, capacity will always be limited by these tunnels. This is the most heavily traveled rail corridor in the country. Amtrak, New Jersey Transit, and Metro North all rely on these tunnels to serve their riders. The Gateway program is a solution to this problem. A series of new bridges and tunnels between Newark and New York City will update and revitalize this corridor. While still in the planning stages, the recognition of the need and the impact this will have on the entire Northeast makes Gateway a project of significance and worthy of recognition. For their foresight and perseverance, we are pleased to recognize the Gateway program with the Award of Merit. Accepting on behalf of the Gateway Program Development Corporation is Steve Sigmund, Chief of Public Outreach. Steve.
Thank you all very much. I just want very quickly, I know it's a long program, just to say thank you, not just for this award, but more importantly for the work and the advocacy that you all provide day in and day out. These projects, as you know, are long. They take a long time. And as someone once said, they're a series of near-death experiences. And your work and advocacy through those near-death experiences helps these projects to stay alive and ultimately to get built and deliver the benefits and promise to the people of this region and this nation and to the economy that we need. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Stephen, and congratulations again to the Gateway program. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Linda Reardon, co-chair, as Tony said, of the 2020-2021 Engineering Excellence Committee. And Tony and I have been privileged these past years to honor the work of our member firms at this event. We've both enjoyed chairing the EEA committee, and we look forward to seeing the committee reach new heights of success in the capable hands of Tom Cassino and Luke Martinek. So you are all here because you recognize how essential engineering is to the well-being of New York and to the world at large. Today, we honor a publication that not only recognizes this importance, but also encourages the business behind engineering. Engineering News Record is the premier industry magazine that is the go-to news source for engineering businesses and association leaders. Their independent reporting and up-to-date information are critical for all industry professionals. Their own editorials, as well as their open op-eds from various industry viewpoints, provide a balanced look at key issues such as design build. ENR also provides opportunities for readers to learn about innovative and creative projects, projects that are life-changing for the communities where they're being built. And for this, we proudly recognize ENR with the Award of Merit. Accepting the award for ENR is Jan Tuckman, Editor-in-Chief.
Wow. Wow. This is my first time at a podium at an industry event since COVID. So how amazing, and how amazing to be here with these wonderful award winners and to share the Award of Merit status with the Gateway Project. I mean, that is like over the top, over the moon. So thank you, Linda, and thank you to the Awards Committee for recognizing ENR's contributions to the profession with ACEC's Award of Merit. ENR's mission is to provide the news, data, and commentary that construction professionals need to do their jobs most effectively. A key ingredient is intelligence about running successful businesses, so the work of ACEC resonates with us, and your subject matter experts are valuable sources. ENR's team of journalists brings you the latest about the challenges of workforce development, escalating costs, project financing, and winning work. Our web and print pages are a forum for engineers to share ideas about best practices in diversity and inclusion, environmental justice, and how to survive a 21st century pandemic. Please reach out about the issues that are important to you. We are only as good as our network of sources in delivering the news. We're honored to be here today. How great to be in a room together instead of across a computer screen. We work to contribute to engineering excellence every day. Thanks so much for acknowledging that effort. And I want this lovely thing.
Thank you, Tony and Linda, and congratulations to the Award of Merit honorees. This event is about celebrating past and present accomplishments, but it is also about preparing for the future. And to that end, this program directly supports the ACEC New York Scholarship Fund. Since the program began in 2002, the ACEC New York Scholarship Fund has generated over $1 million for third and fourth year engineering students. Additionally, since 2011, through the ACE Mentor Program of Greater New York, the Scholarship Fund has provided a $3,000 scholarship to a high school student interested in attending college to study engineering. This year, in recognition of our 100th anniversary, we awarded an additional $3,000 scholarship to a high school student through the National Society of Black Engineers. We plan to continue to offer this scholarship for the next 3 years. A formal announcement of this partnership will be made soon. As we weren't able to recognize the 2021 scholarship recipients in person, we decided to do things a bit differently, and we asked each student to submit a video on how the ACEC New York Scholarship would help shape their future careers. These videos are shared every Wednesday on our social media channels. From these individual testimonials, we have created a short video to promote our scholarship program. Thank you to the Scholarship Committee for all their hard work and dedication, helping ACEC New York spread the word of these valuable opportunities for our students. Congratulations again to our scholarship winners, and thank you again to our scholarship donors. Donations are open for 2022 scholarship year right now. Visit our website for more information. Now let's recognize our first group of Engineering Excellence Platinum Award winners.
The following projects have won Platinum Awards. For excellence in the category of Studies, Research, and Consulting Engineering Services. Hazen and Sawyer for Hydrologic and Hydraulic Modeling for the Mid-Island Blue Belt. And the client is New York City Department of Environmental Protection.
HDR for Port Authority of New York and New Jersey Traffic Signals, Oversight and Management. Big Data Dashboards. And the client is the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey.
STV for Proposed Reconstruction and Expansion of Jamaica Bus Depot EIS. And the client is New York City Transit.
STV for A Division Simulation and Improvement Study. And the client is MTA New York City Transit.
For excellence in the category of Building Technology Systems. AECOM for Alternate Care Facility at SUNY Old Westbury. And the client is United States Army Corps of Engineers, New York District.
ERA for Richard Weeks Hall of Engineering, Rutgers University. And the client is Rutgers University.
Jacob Feinberg, Katz and McCulley Consulting Group for H&H COVID-19 Centers of Excellence. And the client is New York City Department of Health and Mental Hygiene.
Jacob Feinberg, Katz and McCulley Consulting Group for COVID-19 Rapid Response, Riverside Health Center COVID Testing Lab, and Morrisania Health Center COVID Testing Lab. And the client is New York City Department of Design and Construction.
Loring Consulting Engineers for Wyoming State Capitol Rehabilitation and Restoration, Capitol Square Project. And the client is HDR.
Siska Hennessy Group for North Central Bronx Hospital, ICU bed conversion for COVID-19 patients. And the client is New York City Health and Hospitals.
For excellence in the category of Structural Systems. Bergman for Promenade at Erie Harbor. And the client is City of Rochester.
Hardesty and Hanover for LaGuardia Redevelopment, East Roadway Access Structures, and the client is WSP Parsons Brinkerhoff.
McNamara Salvia for Denizen Bushwick, and the client is Yoel Schwimmer.
Muser Rutledge Consulting Engineers for floodwall design for New York City Transit, 207th Street Yard, and Signal Buildings. And the client is Walsh Construction.
Popley Design Group for Franklinville number 22 Bridge Replacement. And the client is Cattaraugus County Department of Public Works.
Severud Associates Consulting Engineers for 390 Madison Avenue Redevelopment. And the client is L&L Holding Company.
WSP USA Buildings for CUNY New York City College of Technology, CityTech Academic Building. And the client is CUNY New York City College of Technology, CityTech.
WSP USA Buildings for the 11 at 76 11th Avenue. And the client is HFZ Capital Group.
WSP and AECOM Joint Venture for HH88B reconstruction of upper and lower level toll plazas, and southbound approach at the Henry Hudson Bridge. And the client is MTA Bridges and Tunnels.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chris Latuso, and I'm the chair of the Recognition Awards Committee. As part of the 100th anniversary, the committee wanted to give a special award in recognition of our milestone. The Excelsior Award is given on occasions where exceptional duty and dedication are shown that benefit not only the engineering industry, but New York State as a whole. The committee discussed a number of worthy candidates, and in the end, one name rose above the rest. I'm proud to stand here today to recognize Mr. Phillip Eng as the winner and recipient of the Excelsior Award. Phil Eng is the president of the MTA Long Island Railroad. He's shown exceptional leadership in the busiest commuter rail system in the United States, a system with over 700 miles of track and 124 stations. Thanks in no small part to his dedication, service for this system continued safely throughout the COVID-19 crisis. Phil, we're proud to recognize your accomplishments, and we thank you for your support and contributions to ACEC New York, particularly for your engagement with our Emerging Leaders Program. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming and congratulating our Excelsior Award winner, Mr. Phil Eng.
Wow. Thank you, Chris, and thank you, ACEC New York. You know, for over 38 years, I've had the privilege of working with so many of ACEC's finest. And I've been granted the privilege of working and participating with Chris on the Emerging Leader Program. And there's nothing more rewarding, more energizing than working with the future of our industry. You know, I'm there to help them, but they're really helping me because they keep me going. It's such a bright future that we have as an industry, so thank you for allowing me to participate in that. And I've always been lucky to be surrounded by phenomenal people around me that always thrive on challenges, and I just go along for the ride with them. First, let me just start with my family. They're not here today with me, but they're always with me. My wife, Carol, my son, Nicholas, Christopher, daughters, Emily and Catherine. Without their love, their support and encouragement, I wouldn't be able to do what I do, and I'm so proud of them. And then from the Long Island Railroad leadership, they are some of my key people are here today. Senior Vice President, Operations, Rob Free, Executive Director, External Affairs, Hector Garcia, Senior Vice President, Engineering, Bruce Augerick. They are always there with me. Bruce and myself, we grew up at State DOT. Commissioner Dominguez, you have a fantastic team at DOT, fantastic group of people. And I wouldn't be able to do what I do at Long Island Railroad without the workforce, the 7,000 men and women that help us deliver robust service, safe service, reliable service, not only for today, but for the future generations. And finally, to ACEC New York and everyone in this room and your colleagues, I'm humbled that I'm the one standing here. I think, Chris, maybe you read the wrong name from the envelope. But I'm going to proudly display this award, and not because of what I've been privileged to do, but what we've been able to do as an industry together. This will be a constant reminder to me of the partnerships, the relationships, and the friendships that I've had the privilege of creating, and quite frankly, with some of the best world-class professionals in the world. So thank you, Chris. Thank you, Johnny, and all of ACEC New York for what you do as an industry. Congratulations as you celebrate 100 years. You guys are all the best. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Phil, and I can assure you there was no mistake in the name on the envelope. Now let's recognize our remaining Platinum Award winners. Where's Ray?
For excellence in the category of waste and stormwater, Dewberry, for green infrastructure in Jamaica Bay tributary areas. And the client is New York City Economic Development Corporation.
H2M Architects and Engineers for Main Street improvements. And the client is Incorporated Village of West Hampton Beach.
HVEA Engineers for Ashokan Station Trailhead. And the client is New York City Department of Environmental Protection.
For excellence in the category of water resources, Woodard & Curran and D&B Engineers and Architects Joint Venture for Nodine Hill Elevated Water Storage Tank Rehabilitation. And the client is City of Yonkers, New York.
For excellence in the category of transportation, AECom for Spring-Made Pier Reconstruction. And the client is Integrated Capital Myrtle Beach.
CHA Consulting for I-87 Exit 3. And the client is New York State Department of Transportation.
Dewberry for Lur Murray Hill Station. And the client is Long Island Railroad.
HNTB New York Engineering and Architecture for Route 17 at Route 32, Exit 131, Reconstruction. And the client is New York State Department of Transportation.
STV for Alexander Hamilton Bridge Interchange Design Build. And the client is Basilico Civil.
For excellence in the category of special projects, AECom for reconstruction of Fowler Square. And the client is New York City Department of Design and Construction.
D. Simone Consulting Engineers for Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Hollywood. And the client is the Seminole Tribe of Florida.
KS Engineers for construction of Atlantic Avenue infrastructure improvements and safety enhancements. And the client is New York City Department of Design and Construction.
Langen Engineering, Environmental, Surveying, Landscape Architecture, and Geology for Waterline Square. And the client is GID Development Group.
Nussbaumer and Clark for Lewiston Landing Emergency Reconstruction and Resiliency Project. And the client is Village of Lewiston.
Stantec Consulting Services for Newtown Barge Park. And the client is New York City Economic Development Corporation.
STV for 17 fan plants and adjacent tunnels flood mitigation. And the client is New York City Transit.
WSP USA for Shirley Chisholm State Park. And the client is New York State Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation.
For excellence in the category of energy, CHA Consulting for Seneca Lake cable replacement. And the client is New York State Electric and Gas.
Well, those were some amazing projects. Congratulations to all our Platinum Award winners, and a special congratulations to Phil Eng on earning the Excelsior Award. Congratulations. So, now on to the top awards of the event. The top projects in each category earned Diamond Awards. This afternoon, we have 27 Diamond Awards to recognize. After the final award is announced, ACEC National Chair Robin Greenleaf will announce the Empire Award, the top-rated project designed and built in New York State. So, without further delay, let's recognize our Diamond Award winners.
The following projects have won Diamond Awards. For excellence in the category of studies, research, and consulting engineering services. Hazen and Sawyer for PVSC Wet Weather Secondary Bypass. No feasible alternative study, Newark, New Jersey. And the client is Passaic Valley Sewerage Commission.
Sam Schwartz Engineering for 14th Street Busway Monitoring, New York, New York. And the client is New York City Department of Transportation. This project also won the Best Panel Award.
For excellence in the category of Building Technology Systems. AKF Group for Aaron Diamond AIDS Research Center at Columbia University Irving Medical Center, New York, New York. And the client is Columbia University Irving Medical Center, Aaron Diamond AIDS Research Center.
Collado Engineering for Haven Plaza Flood Resiliency New Utility Services Building, New York, New York. And the client is Haven Plaza Square LLC, care of Catholic Homes, New York.
Jaros Baum and Bowles for David H. Koch Center for Cancer Care at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, New York, New York. And the client is Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center.
WSP USA Buildings for Louis Armstrong Tennis Stadium, Queens, New York. And the client is United States Tennis Association.
For excellence in the category of structural systems. ERA for 40 10th Avenue Solar Car, New York, New York. And the client is Aurora Capital Associates.
COE for replacement of the Kosciuszko Bridge over Newtown Creek Phase 2. Construction and Erection Engineering, Brooklyn and Queens, New York. And the client is Granite Construction and New York State Department of Transportation.
Lyra Consulting Structural Engineers for Charles Library, Temple University, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And the client is Temple University.
Muser Rutledge Consulting Engineers for foundations for the Jacob K. Javits Center expansion, New York, New York. And the clients are Lend-Lease and Turner, a joint venture.
Thornton Tomasetti for MSK David H. Koch Center for Cancer Care at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, New York, New York. And the client is Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center.
For excellence in the category of surveying and mapping technology, Delta Engineers, Architects, Land Surveyors, and Landscape Architects for Olin Science Building, BIM Model, Hamilton, New York. And the client is Colgate University.
For excellence in the category of environmental, CHA Consulting for Niagara County Landfill #1 Improvements, Lockport, New York. And the client is Niagara County.
WSP USA, formerly Ecology and Environment, for Dry Cleaner Site Assessment Remediation Program, various locations, South Carolina. And the client is South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control.
For excellence in the category of waste and stormwater, H2M Architects and Engineers for Spring School Sanitary System Upgrade Project, East Hampton, New York. And the client is Springs Union Free School District.
Hazen and Sawyer for Township of Ocean Sewerage Authority Offshore Ocean Outfall Replacement, Deal, New Jersey. And the client is Township of Ocean Sewerage Authority.
For excellence in the category of water resources, Cameron Engineering and Associates for Ronkonkoma Hub Sanitary Pump Station and Force Main Piping, Ronkonkoma, New York. And the client is Suffolk County Department of Public Works.
WSP USA and Liro Engineers joint venture for construction management for the replacement of existing water siphons between Brooklyn and Staten Island, New York, New York. And the client is New York City Department of Economic Development.
For excellence in the category of transportation, Creighton Manning Engineering for CDTA Bus Rapid Transit River Corridor, Albany and Troy, New York. And the client is Capital District Transportation Authority.
HDR for Cross Harbor Freight Program, reconstruction of Greenville Yard Bridge 10, and rehabilitation of 65th Street Yard North Bridge, New York, New York. And the client is Port Authority of New York and New Jersey.
WSP USA for Canarsie Tunnel Sandy Rehabilitation and L-Train Core Capacity Improvement Project, New York, New York. And the client is MTA Construction and Development, New York City Transit.
For excellence in the category of special projects. Barton and LaJudas for Ashokan Rail Trail, Ulster County, New York. And the client is Ulster County.
Jacobs for COVID-19 testing sites, Bronx, New York. And the client is New York City Department of Design and Construction.
STV for MTA Metro North Patterson Bridge replacements, Southeast New York. And the client is MTA Metro North Railroad.
WSP USA for World Trade Center Downtown Restoration Program, Phases 1 and 2, New York, New York. And the client is Port Authority of New York and New Jersey.
For excellence in the category of energy. AECOM for electric vehicle charging infrastructure system at JFK International Airport, Terminal 5, New York, New York. And the client is New York Power Authority.
For excellence in the category of industrial and manufacturing processes and facilities. CNS Companies for manufacturing space renovation and repurposing, Auburn, New York. And the client is Volpe USA.
ACEC New York, leaders in the business of engineering for 100 years.
Congratulations again to all of the 2021 Diamond Award winners. Those were exceptional projects. As Ray mentioned, I'm Robin Greenleaf, Chair of ACEC National. I'm proud to be here on stage at the first ACEC New York Engineering Excellence Luncheon. I especially welcome our virtual attendees, who I am sure are just as eager to hear our next award winner as those of us here in this room. The Empire Award is given to the top-rated project in the Engineering Excellence Awards program that was designed and built entirely within New York State. The winner is known only by a select few people and has not been announced until this very moment. After I read the envelope, the winners should ascend to the second podium to accept the award. Representatives of the winning firm will have 1 minute at the podium, and they will be escorted immediately to the photo room with their award. And the winner is... WSP USA for the World Trade Center Downtown Restoration Program Phases 1 and 2 for their client, the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. The redevelopment of the $20 billion, 16-acre World Trade Center site represents one of the largest construction programs in one of the most visible, politically sensitive, and dynamic environments in the world. A pivotal moment in our nation's history, the restoration of Lower Manhattan was crucial for healing our nation. Working together in a unified mission, a team of more than 100 consultants planned, designed, and constructed a progressive, modern, mixed-use complex that gracefully honors those lost while restoring life in the void that was left in our hearts. Congratulations to the WSP and to the Port Authority.
Wow. I can honestly say we didn't expect this, but on behalf of everybody, we certainly do appreciate it. We were the program managers with the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. It was important. It was important for giving back to the city. Remember, we had the 2 terrorist attacks, and I have to tell you, it was heartfelt and warming to really work with the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, as well as almost every single firm in this room. The Downtown Design Partnership was the designer of that effort, which is AECOM and STV and their companies. And it was really a fabulous job to really revitalize downtown again and to bring back the city in a better way as we move forward. So the Port Authority's got a lot to be proud of. We were just a small part of it as an extension of their staff from a program management perspective. but I'd like to congratulate everyone in this room for their participation in this, because it's certainly an iconic project that has helped each and every one of us out here. So thank you very much, and on behalf of the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, we thanks for the consideration. Thank you.
Congratulations to our Empire Award winner, and thank you all for joining us this. Well, let's give him a round of applause again. That was very heartfelt and well-deserved. I want to thank you all for joining us this afternoon for the 2021 Engineering Excellence Awards. And congratulations again to all today's winners. The recording of this program will be available following this event, so you can relive your favorite moments. Feel free to use any portion of the broadcast for your company's use and promotion. As a reminder, the photo room is open now. Also, our 2022 Winter Conference is scheduled for January 30th through February 1st, and sponsorships are already selling fast. We hope to see many of you there. And again, we want to thank you all for coming today. And I've been reminded the centerpieces can be taken home, hopefully by those that cheered the most. So thank you, everybody.